How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Oracle Rising. My name is Robin. So guys, this is like my journey is unfolding in spirituality and in rising out of the matrix. So I just was inspired some time ago to like really help the community to do the same and talk about things that maybe you just were unsure of. So this is going to be one of those things, guys. I'm talking about universal flow, okay? And sometimes I find that we hear these catchphrases and we're just like, what does that even mean? Or that just sounds ridiculous. So I want to have just a forum. I know it's going to be one-sided, but you guys can leave me your comments and I'll respond to you. I always do. If you prefer not to comment in public on YouTube, you can go ahead and email me at oraclerising2@gmail.com. That's in the description box. So I heard all this stuff when I was like on my spiritual awakening path, and I was watching actually Oprah one day, and she was talking to a couple people about getting in the universal flow and how it was so much easier. And I wasn't very awake at that time, so I found it really confusing. And so universal flow is basically the universe has a plan and it's going one way, you know? And so it's basically you can either hop on board and go with it, or you can fight. Like if you've ever seen a salmon swimming upstream, it looks very difficult and challenging. And then when they get where they're going, they die. So, I mean, it's not that great. But anyway, so getting into the flow is like just releasing control, okay? It is like not trying to plan every single thing down to the millionth degree, because it's not even possible to do that. Thinking that we control circumstances is an absolute illusion that people tell themselves, and I still do that. I mean, I'm sitting here with you guys having these conversations, and definitely not under any sort of illusion that I have attained like intergalactic oneness or anything like that, Zoltan. You know, so I have my struggles every day, and I want you guys to feel like you can be yourself here, because that's who I'm showing up as. But anyway, control. Like, is anybody else like a real type A personality and you have to really control everything that is going on? I'm slowly releasing that, but I still get really, really anxious when things don't go my way, when they don't follow my plan for the day. So this is how we learn to be present in the moment, okay? Because if you're experiencing any sort of anxiety or sadness about things not going your way, you're absolutely not being present. So this is where you get to do, like, it's gut check time. It's like, why am I feeling this way? It's because I'm not having faith in the universe, that everything is going to be okay, and trying to control things. So this is going to be more or less a conversation in how to like control yourself more than anything else. It's the only thing that you have control of in your life is you, right? Like everything else has its own set of circumstances, its own destiny, and its own fate. And the universe has a great big grand plan. I just saw angel number 333 for us all. So it's in certain circumstances taking yourself out of the driver's seat and into the passenger seat, okay? So I saw this really interesting meme. I'm all about the memes. They're quite educational, actually. That when you get onto a plane, you just have faith that the pilot knows what he's doing, that he knows how to get you there. He knows how to fly the plane. Like everything is going to be fine. I know some people are better flyers than others, but you know what I mean? You just really feel like, okay, I'm going from here to there, and the captain of the ship, I was going to say, the plane is going to get me there and I'll be fine. Everything around me is fine. So that is basically having faith that the universe has everything in your best interest and things are going to happen outside of your control every day. So being able to control your reactions to things that are happening, practicing the art of detachment, that's really going to help you guys, okay? So I did have a set list here and I just blew it all to smithereens. But anyway, being present in the moment. So what exactly does that mean? It means that you are not worried about tomorrow or what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, and you're not beating yourself up or being sad about what happened in the past, which is not always easy, because I know we all go through our own traumas, okay? So I'm not trying to minimize that at all, okay? So being present, this is like if you find yourself really amping up in your anxiety, or you're getting freaked out or stressed or angry, that's where you just need to realize, okay, I have to do a check, like a real gut check on myself, and remember to breathe. There is only the moment that you're living in, okay? Tomorrow hasn't happened yet, and yesterday is gone. You can't go back and change anything. So being present, try to breathe. You could even leave yourself sticky notes all over the place. That's what I do. I leave myself sticky notes, like just to remind myself, to keep myself in balance, okay? Showing gratitude for where you are right now. I mean, some of us are having really, really challenging circumstances, okay? Like myself included. It hasn't been a real picnic here for me either. Like I was talking to my son the other day, and I was like, was basically one of the worst years I've ever had in my life, okay? And now that that situation is over, I'm going to talk to you guys about it, because probably a lot of you guys knew that I lost my job of 10 years, and then I was unemployed for a year, and then I found a job, and I thought everything was going to be cool. Hold on for a sec. Anyway, so I was super excited about this job and whatever. I have my coffee here, decaf. And my boss turned out to be the biggest, and I'm going to say something here. He's such a douchebag. I'm sorry, but he was just like always screaming at people and finding ways to put people down. And he was just not a nice person. And I just didn't respect almost anything about him, but I still needed to pay my bills. Okay. So it was a real dichotomy for me to go in there. And he was like just unbelievable, and something would happen almost every day. So I'm using that as an example for how you guys might be able to get through something very challenging in your life. I would just tell myself, this is just something that I have to go through in my life right now. There's a reason why I'm here. Tried to stop myself from overthinking too much, because sometimes you just have to go through the valley of despair, or a really complicated and not very pleasant situation to get where you're going. I mean, we all have our vision boards, and we have our requests out to the universe where we want to be. And sometimes the path to get there is harder than others. Okay. So, that was a very strained and difficult path for me. So I just had to keep telling myself I'm here for a reason. Try not to let this person get to me, because and this is somebody that I would never speak to in my ordinary day-to-day life. And just so you guys know, I'm the type of person that I always speak my mind against people. And these are things that I said directly to this person as well. So I didn't hold back. I was like, you know what, if you're going to talk to me like that, I really gave it back to. I just gave my opinion, just said, you really need to heal. I don't know what's going on with you, why you think it's okay to speak to me this way. But I'm giving you those examples because I was also grateful that I was able to get up and go, earn an income. You know what I mean? And to learn a new industry. So I found things to be grateful for. I really did have to practice the art of detachment and forgiveness as well, because there's somebody that was just so unhealed and damaged. They just didn't know how to communicate properly. So I was able to stand back and watch that. And hopefully it brought me some sort of development on my path, and certainly patience and understanding. And it was very, very challenging for me. So I had to be present in the moment and let things go, and just trust that the universe was putting me somewhere where I needed to be on my path. And sometimes you'll never know the answer for that. Like, you're stuck in a situation and you're going through it, and you might never have an answer. Sometimes you have an answer 10 years later, or not at all. And sometimes you're there to help out somebody else. And maybe I did that too, but I have absolutely no idea. So I found reasons to be grateful. Like, the guy I was working for, he had a dog that I shared my office with, and I would just be very grateful for her and have very heartwarming moments with her. So even when your path is very, very difficult and complex and you're just like, what is going on here right now? Okay, there's a purpose for it. Sometimes it's about you, sometimes it is about gaining insight for yourself, or just strengthening you, and sometimes you're put in a situation to help rescue somebody else or guide them to a higher path. Okay, so yeah, the control thing. I had no control over most of the situation there. So I did have to learn how to just really control myself and say things in a very measured tone. Like I wasn't freaking out when I was making observations. You know, I was saying things most of the time very calmly, even though I did tell him to F off one day and I stormed off and I came home because I'm only human. So, I mean, I know a lot of us are going through really challenging times right now. So I hope this is bringing you guys some sort of strength to get through things, because there is always a brighter day ahead of you. Okay, so being grateful for everything that is going on in your life. Like, difficult people show you how you can improve your own self, your own temper, the way you use words, you know, finding solace in something, maybe telling yourself, I'm really here to help this person that is struggling, and finding that faith in the universe, to trust the universe that, you know, this is just part of my journey. And, you know, especially if you have asked for a spiritual awakening or to really get to know yourself better. I mean, when you ask the universe to show you higher levels of yourself, you're going to be put to the test, you know? I mean, and it's as simple as that sometimes. It's like you get these things thrown at you to see if you can handle things with a bit more grace than you might have done 10, 15, 20 years ago, you know, so you don't implode and act like a lunatic. So there is a lot to be said about, okay, this is where I am right now, finding the beauty in it, even if it's really ugly sometimes, like even finding like, oh, okay, at least I have a car to drive to work with, and I get to come home and I have a place to live and a roof over my head. You know, I have an income coming in. Maybe there's somebody in this situation that you're in that you've developed a really good friendship with. And out of this situation that I just went through, and it actually went from April to April, so it was an entire year of this, I made one really, really beautiful friend. And I was actually able to step in and protect somebody in that work environment that was going through their own sort of emotional trauma. So I know that I was there for a reason. So I tried to really show the grace and just go through it and find the gratitude in it. So, and now I'm out the other side. So I think this is a really perfect example of being able to go with the flow and accepting whatever is happening in the situation, whether it's comfortable or not. The universe doesn't always promise you a comfortable ride, but you will always get what you asked for and exactly what you need to grow in whatever moment that you're in. Okay, guys? So thank you for listening to my story, and I hope it helps you guys. I want you guys to understand that, you know, I might be sitting here on YouTube and making videos, but I've gone through a lot of stuff, and that is why I was like guided to start this channel, because I have a lot of experience in dealing with some very, very rough times. I've had a lot of weird things happen. If you want to talk about like being haunted and meeting angels and communicating with dead people and stuff like that. So let me know if there's anything you guys want me to talk about in the future, because I am here to help all of us, you know, and build this community. So I just want to send you guys so much love on your journey as you just sort of relax into faith that the universe is going to take you where you want to go. And it might have some ugly surprises for you sometimes, but on the other side of that, there's also some really deep beauty in what you're going through. So anyway, guys, cheers. I'm going to have my coffee now that it's lukewarm, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Okay, take care. Bye.